Hey everyone and welcome back. As promised, I'm wearing the Desert Sorceress or Desert Pyromancer stuff. For now, I will be taking it off later. If you know what I mean. No, I won't be doing that. But anyways, let's talk to Lap. I finished that little mini quest.
Oh, look at you. You found the treasure. Dashing. Just dashing. You'll make good use of it, I'm sure. Now, this is a little toast from me to you. Not much to speak of, but bottoms up to the greatest warrior there is.
Okay, let's go kill ourselves a boss then, shall we? Okay, let's get ready. Take a look who we got here. I'm not going to be summoning anybody, but I always like to get a look at the fashion souls that we may or may not have going on. That's not bad. Do note that you can actually summon Lap here. Take a look at the weapons he's using. This is going to become kind of important later. There's that great shield and that new glaive that I think they call a great sword. But I'm not going to be summoning because where's the fun in that? It's worth noting this boss did kill me a few times on my first run through, so we'll see how it goes. And here is our boss. Did I say boss? I meant bosses. So as you might imagine, the goal here is to keep one of them in between the other and yourself, so that you don't have to deal with two at the same time. At the very beginning, that was bad, one of them tends to stay at range. However, it tends to power up. You can sort of see him firing up there in the background. And then things get trickier. There we go. So you want to kind of kill the first one as quickly as possible, if you can. There we go. And there's no actual reason to keep both of them alive. This isn't Throne Watcher and Defender where, you know, they res each other or anything. And as you notice, you can kind of use the normal Dark Souls strategy of standing underneath the large enemy, so it has a hard time hitting you. Eventually I should get critical attack in. And that's that. Pretty easy. Now, I'm sure I didn't have to spoil this, but it's not quite over yet. Oh no, not at all. Alright, this guy's quite a bit trickier than the little ones. It's still not the worst boss, really. He does have a few attacks that you kind of have to watch out for. I'm sure we'll get to see those. Otherwise, just don't be a dummy like me and take a bunch of unnecessary hits. Alright, here we go. This is a bad one. Oh, I knocked him out of it. Nice. That was pretty optimal. I was doing it again anyway. So he's going to call these fireballs at you and start charging this attack. Now, if he charges this attack up, you are basically dead, so you don't want that to happen. Those fireballs that drop from the sky will actually home in on you if he gets to charge it up all the way, and that was one-shotting my other character that I was playing this with. So you don't really want that. Otherwise, though, I mean, yeah, not too bad, right? Come on, dude, I got one more hit for you. There we go. Why don't you have a seat? So there you go. Could have been prettier, but all in all, not too bad. The heck is the exit? Now it's all the way over here, of course. Before we move on, I want to show you something kind of interesting about this arena. Some of the architecture got destroyed, though, so to do that, I'm going to have to reload, which is fine. It's worth doing, though. Okay, so we're going to run over here. I want you to picture something for me. I want you to picture that there's a bonfire right about here. We run over here, and there's a corpse with some humanity. And right over here, there's a crestfallen knight wearing chainmail armor. Yeah, this is Firelink Shrine, like the original Firelink Shrine. Take a look at that, if you had any doubt. In fact, if we run through here, that is where Frompt would be sticking his head out, and the crow would be somewhere around there. Kind of sad. Seeing it like this. You know what else is kind of sad is the number of bloodstains that we get on this little part over here. You see, people don't remember, apparently, the very beginning of the game where you had to raise the banner and get carried away to the next area. So, a lot of people just jump off the edge and die. Now, there's something subtle in this cutscene that I kind of like. Obviously, it's these guys again. No big surprises there. But pay attention to your character's reaction. You just kind of relax, and you're like, oh, okay. Cool, normal. Used to this. Whereas in the original cutscene, in Lothric Castle, or High Wall of Lothric, rather, your character looks kind of freaked out when these guys show up. But because you can't access this before that, they put it in so that your character is like, oh yeah, these guys again. Anyways, get a load of this view. Wow. It really brings back the wonder that you get going into Anor Londo the first time. Pretty gorgeous. And this is the Ringed City. Let's take a good look here. Pretty gorgeous, isn't it? Alright, don't swing at this guy. He's not an enemy.
Hark. They brought thee here, did they not? Dost thou the gods serve, or merely that role affect?
I serve the gods.
A lie.
Uh-oh.
A wretched lie. How wouldst one such as thee do service to the gods?
Oh.
Thy scheme is known to me. I know what it is thou desirest. The dark soul, no? Why else wouldst one deign to visit this dung heap? Give rest to thy falsity. I would be an ally to thee.
Okay, well, let's get ready to fight this guy then. I don't really know what rings to put on. I'm not optimized for PvP at all. This might do it. Okay, we're just going for it, apparently. I'm not going down there, like, obviously. So anyways, pay no attention to that yet. Okay, so let's go back and talk to this guy. I've got my theories about what this guy is. I haven't watched any of the lore videos yet, but we'll get to that.
If it is the dark soul thou desirest, then seek Filianor's church at the base of the cliff. There wilt thou the sleeping princess waken. Her slumber is a deceit, a lid covering an overgrown privy, a prop to keep thee from the dark soul of thine desire. Worry not, I am a true friend to thee. If thou art yet human, the urge will soon begin to swell, to curse the gods and bring ruin upon this accursed heap of dung.
Okay, so there's a lot going on there. He mentioned the Dark Soul, like the Dark Soul, from the beginning of time. My theory, and again, haven't watched any of the lore videos, so can't be 100% sure of this, but my theory is this guy is one of the furtive pygmies. Like the original race from the beginning. And I do have, I am able to back that up, actually. Let's put on this stuff. But we'll get into that in a minute. Okay, so first off, you probably noticed, this. Yep. Now, pay attention to what those guys look like. Did they look like a particular enemy from Dark Souls 2? Like this enemy, maybe? Yeah, I did mention Dark Souls 2 gets quite a bit of love in this DLC. It's the Ruin Sentinels. You know, that set that you probably spent ages trying to grind for and never got? I don't know what this DLC's obsession with, like, ranged enemies that you have to dodge is. We'll take a look at the item description in a minute, because it's actually kind of interesting. But first we shall run through to safety, hopefully. Also, I was getting pretty decent damage on that invader, wasn't I? That was pretty legit. Probably had, like, no health, but... anyways. This is where you want to go if you're avoiding the arrows, which is the best plan, quite honestly. And I'm going to hang here until that skeleton gets over, or those skeletons, I guess, because I don't want... I think they patrol up there, and I don't want them to aggro while I'm fighting the big dude. Okay. So I'll wait for them to come out once more. They're going to fire 3 volleys every time, as far as I know. So if you run on volley 3, you should be okay. And there's actually a safe zone right over here, where they can't reach you. Although he has a way to deal with that. Yeah, some's the big hammer dude. Come after you. Anyways, not too bad, not too hard. Not too bad, not too hard. Equals not too had. Bueno. It's worth noting that my second, not my second, but like whatever death I had before or after the demon boss, the first one of those was I was standing on the staircase over there, admiring the view, and then just got peppered with these arrows. It was kind of amusing. Just was not paying attention. Okay, so there's nothing essential over here. It's just the usual, you know, Titanite, embers, and that sort of thing. But just look at how gorgeous this is. I mean, flowers and like the way the... One thing that Dark Souls 3 has always done really well graphically is the particles in the air, like these petals and the ashes and the wind. It like, yeah, it just looks great. Rather wonderful, if I do say so myself. And I do. Okay.
Many of us are by the fire, forsaken. I speak of thine kind and mine. Behold this city. We are kindred, but like two eyes which gaze upon the other. Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin.
There is actually a lore thing to this guy that we'll get into, but he's pretty freaking creepy, isn't he?
One was a wayfaring knight on an endless, forbidden search. Only the abyss granted closure, if not reunion with his beloved. Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin.
I think that's talking about Artorias, but I could be wrong. Okay, do not let this guy push you off the edge. You will be so sad if he does that. And yes, I speak from experience. Good, I needed that. And worry not, our bonfire is coming up here. What the... Okay. If you've been watching the rest of the series, not the first time that's happened, actually. Okay, and our bonfire is right here. Now, I've got 284,000 souls, so I think I'm going to go spend those before we go on any further. Okay. Figured we would wear this for a little bit. Why not? It's still a very nice looking set. I'm going to recommend that you just sprint through here because there are these crystal dudes who curse you just by you standing near them, and that's no fun. No good, as Sonic would say. And somebody a little bit scarier waiting for you over here. Yeah. You notice that armor looks very much like the Dark Sign, which is pretty cool. And I'm just going to spoil it. You can get that armor, so that's kind of cool. As for this thing, a cleric turtle, because, you know, why not? Actually, some of the most irritating enemies in the DLC because they have this miracle which comes up underneath your feet and deals damage. In fact, there's an extra one right here that you want to kill. Otherwise, he'll just keep casting it while you're down there and you can't really get to him. While we're here, as well, lunging attack this fool. Ouch. Back off for a second here. Now there are a few different variants of these ringed knights, which is what they're called. Which is interesting, actually. because it makes you think, is it called the Ringed City because it's surrounded by a ring, which it kind of is, or does it have to do with the dark sign? Ah. But anyways, there are a few different variations of those guys, and all of them have some sort of crazy Soul of Cinder powered up move. So you gotta watch out for that. Alright, there's a really easy trick you can use to kill these big guys. Remember when I dropped on his head before? Here's how I'd recommend that you do this. Stand right here. And you get the free drop attack on him. And then you can just basically repeat that if you don't mistime your rolls horribly. Because there are a lot of these guys over here. Come on, dummy. I'm sure somebody else has thought of that, but I did discover that myself, so I'm a little bit proud of the cheese. Oh, come on. Because apparently I don't know how to roll, so, I mean, it would be kind of difficult to kill these guys otherwise. Okay. Now there is actually some dialogue you can get up here behind this door. No more dudes, right? Okay. Hello?
Speak thee the name of God, thine own God, if thou canst recall.
Fortunately, they make it very easy for you here.
Ah, then thou's not forgotten. Perhaps 'tis why we may converse. I am known as Shira, servant to the Princess Filianor, matriarch of the Church. They who are ken to God's name are surely ken to the terrors of the dark. Please, I bid thee take not from the princess her peace or rest. As the fire waneth, does she lie by the dark, all for the sake of man. Thou'st a kind heart to speak to a captive such as I. It is no surprise thou rememberest our God. May I ask thee a kindness? Perhaps thou'st beheld the lone dragon that inhabited this city.
Not
Medea
yet.
is his name, and the arch-dragons are his forebears. He once railed against the dark, but was by dark afflicted. Now here, returned, he remaineth, to watch over the sleeping princess, true to the old accord. And yet, I would have thee put the dragon to rest, before the dark consumeth him, and his vows are forgot.
Sure.
I offer my sincerest gratitude, thou who art ken to God's name. Please, take this. I have asked a thing most terrible of thee. May this token of thanks be of aid. I beg of thee.
Okay. So, a little bit going on there lore-wise. You remember that creepy dude that we found at the beginning, who I think is one of the pygmies. He says, wake the princess, because she's not actually sleeping. It's a fake. She says, do me a favor and don't wake the princess, okay? So, we got two different opposing views going on here. Oh, I so rolled that. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't really want that. Alright, we're going to keep going a little bit longer, just a little bit. I'm going to get to the next bonfire, and then we'll be good. But first, a little bit more Dark Souls 2 love over here. First of all, I already killed Alva back in the base game, so I don't know what he's doing here again, but... Kill him again. Why not? Spin to win. Oh, wow, you normally don't catch with that third hit. And yes, the Wolf Ring +3. Unfortunately, it does not grant poise. So, there you go. At least not in the way you might want it to. Yeah, no. Yeah, remember that? Now, I do have to say, this particular armor set seems to me to be more in the cartoony style of Dark Souls 2 versus the more gritty style of Dark Souls 3. So it seems a little bit out of place, but it's not bad. Maybe we'll change into that for next time. Let's go back to that for now. Bonfire's coming up pretty quick here. Something just died? What was that? Guy wants me. Alright, we got more of them. I'm not going to deal with them for now. We're going to go into here. More curse guys, though. I think I'll do this. Although that doesn't seem to be helping that much, does it? And can I hit him for, like, MLG shot? Ah, not quite. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that could drop from these guys, actually. That is a Covenant item, because there is actually a new Covenant in this DLC. Also, there's the spear. Yeah, you can get their weapons. And the L2 is actually the stance for that powered-up fire thing, which is pretty cool. Anyways. Where'd you come from? Oh, I guess he must have dropped.
One met the dark with learning, but in the end learned his knowledge was wanting. The world began without knowledge, and without knowledge will it end. Does not this ring clear and true? Fear not the dark, my friend, and let the feast begin.
I have to say, I think that's a pretty cool line, too. The world began without knowledge, and without knowledge it will end. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Surprise! You want Titanite chunks, by the way? These guys drop them pretty much every single death, so worth it. Ready for some initial D? Now, if we could get that as a usable miracle, that would be the best, but unfortunately I don't think that's the case. Also, it's occurring to me now probably to edit in like some Eurobeat over that, so hopefully I did that, and if I did, you're welcome. So creepy, seriously. Oh, no, 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 no. Dang it. Oh well. Let's take care of this guy. I should say these guys, because there are two. Okay. Oh, cool, I knocked one off the edge. Or he knocked himself off the edge, I suppose. We'll go back for him, maybe. Ooh, good backstep, man. Our buddy should be in here now, I think. Oh no, we forgot to talk to him. Dang it. Okay. But hello. Lap should have been here, but I forgot to activate him when we got to the next bonfire. That's fine. I can always come back and get him next time. Yeah, there's nothing over there. Okay, we got one more thing to do, and then we'll call it quits. I'm not really in a particular hurry to get through this DLC, as it is going to be the end of this series. And it's been going for quite a while, so I'm kind of loath to see it go. Anyways, the Gold Serpent plus 3, 160, or rather 110 to 225 versus to 110, 160, whatever. Anyways, it's good. It's kind of funny, all these plus 3 rings make it kind of pointless to go to, you know, higher difficulties, but... Hello. Whoop. So yes, that is the guy that was getting summoned by the summoner dude, whose name is slipping my mind right now. I'm actually kind of surprised I could hit him out of that. You'll notice it has a neat, unique attack. Maybe I'll back off long enough for him to use it. Where it gathers these, like, metal bits or stones or something, and then explodes. See if I can get him to use it. If not, I'll just kill him. You got one more chance, buddy, or I'm just gonna kill you. Alright. There it is. Right as I kill him. Good news is he drops it. Can I even wield it, though? That's a good question. Probably not. Yeah, can't wield it. 60 strength is a pretty crazy requirement. However, I was finding the first character that I played through here with was a pure strength character using Smo's hammer. Using Smo's hammer, my game lagged out there for a minute. So the first character that I played through here with was a pure strength using Smo's hammer, and I was actually squeezing a tiny bit more damage out of that than out of Smo's. Base damage was lower, but the scaling was way higher. So... I don't know. They're both good, but... Speaking of heavy stuff, yep. Okay, we've gone on quite long enough. It is time to go hit our bonfire, which fortunately is right around the corner. Oh, look, they're so cute, except they're not. They're absolutely horrifying. That R1 spam for the win. Okay, here's our bonfire. I want to thank y'all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Till then.